This is a very exciting day for me. I just got a new tripod, which means that my hands are free when I'm recording, and I have a new microphone, which means that it doesn't matter where in the room I go, you're still going to be able to hear me, and it has a remote control. So big day over here at GPS. So I've been thinking about teenagers a lot lately. I've always loved working with adolescents. I think the ages between 12 and 24 are really magical and really amazing. And it's funny that teens have been on my mind, and I've been getting lots of questions from parents about teens and adolescents and how to help them navigate COVID. And then today, without even thinking about it, I put on my McMaster University sweatshirt. Shout out to my Hamilton, Ontario people. And it got me thinking about when I was 18 and heading off to university, how I would have felt if I was missing out on all of the things that these freshmen this year are missing out on, or if my first year didn't look or feel the way I had been anticipating and excited about it feeling for all of my high school years. There are lots of things that are really hard for adolescents about COVID, much harder than for other age groups. But I think the biggest one is socialization. Lockdown was, especially hard. And then over the summer, at least kids could be outside and, hanging out in small groups as long as they were staying sort of distanced. And now, in some places in the country, kids are back in school. Some are still completely remote. But for the kids who are back in school, they're masked, they're supposed to stay away from each other, they might be in a small pod, they're not changing classes the way they were, they don't have the socialization opportunities of lunch and just hanging out, spare periods, those kinds of things. So even though they're back, it still looks really, really different. And the hardest part is that as adults, we want to keep them safe. But as teenagers, they're trying to meet their developmental drive for social connection. And those two things don't always work in the middle of a pandemic. So socialization, what do you do? My best suggestion is to have really, really open and honest conversations with your adolescents. If you try to create rules and dictate them to your teenagers, you're going to get a lot of pushback. And they're going to feel like you don't care, you don't understand, you don't listen, even though we know that that's not true. You care very, very much. The things that you care about are important to your adult brain. Keeping everyone safe, keeping the grandparents from catching COVID. Those are the things you're thinking about. They're thinking about what's important from their developmental space of, I need to see my friends. So much can happen in 24 hours. What if so-and-so likes so-and-so? Or what if so-and-so's talking to so-and-so? There's all sorts of things that they're thinking about that, they aren't important to us as adults, but to kids, they really, really are. So if you have these open and honest conversations at times that are low stress and low key, sit down with them and share with them what it is that you're actually worried about. The reasons behind some of the rules that you're thinking about, but also listen to them, listen to what they're concerned about, because their fears and their worries are absolutely genuine and true for them. And you want to brainstorm together ways to make socialization easier so that their needs are met and your needs are met. And it's going to mean some give and take. But, an example might be if they've got a couple of friends that they're really close with and they're really missing, and they want to have them over for a movie night. And, you agree that when everyone is sitting, in the basement watching the movie, they will space themselves out and they'll wear their masks. And, if they're going to have snacks or beverages, maybe you go out to the back porch to do that. Or, maybe they go out to the, if you've got a patio or a deck, and you go outside and you have your snacks out there. You guys can work that out, but listen to what they need and see if there's a way that they can brainstorm together. They might have really reasonable and really valid suggestions that you haven't heard yet because your fear was making you kind of dictate the rules from the top. I'm thinking I'm going to be dropping some more videos about adolescence and the kind of COVID-specific things, but they're also applicable to just raising teens in general, even if there wasn't a pandemic. I think the pandemic has just sort of highlighted some of these things for us. So I'm also working on a parenting masterclass that will be coming out this winter specifically for parents of adolescents. So keep your eyes open for that. And as always, if you have any feedback, any questions, you can find me at www.guidedparentingsupport.com. That's all for now.